Hey yo, this is another video, so let's go. All right, I'm at Chavez Park, as you can see right here. But this area itself is in a highly Latino area. So let's keep going. Crete, as you would see, would be looked at as Greece. And you got a sun design on a tomb. Okay, that would be in Roman. Okay, now pick up what I'm talking about and all the symbols they're coming from. Knossos. Now I might have heard of it, but I don't really know for sure where that's exactly at. But Knossos, the sun in a closed world. All right. Sun design on a coin. You can find this in India. A sand dusting sign in India. This is a coin design in India. I hope you're starting to understand what's going on, but I'll from what I went through it backwards. I was going through it. I walked up into the park and then realized when I was like came back from doing what I was doing, I saw all these symbols. So symbols and symbology is everything. It means so much in just like one little speck. So I'm gonna tell you, tell you from my perspective of what's going on right here. So come to find out, I looked up who Cesar Chavez was. He supposedly had gotten rights for people against the grapes that was using the wine or the grapes in order to for planting. And they was given low wages. So he was supposedly had fought for high raises, but he got for high wages. But we got to remember, though, these times we talking about with that, he's actually riding the coattail off of other people. So he's actually the civil rights for highly melanated people, so-called black people, pretty much put that in place. They just use the energy and take a little bit of that energy and run with it, just like everybody else, the Asians, the gays, anybody you can think of, they'll get their battery or their energy off of what we left behind. That's for anything around the world. So remember what I just said, around the world. And this is another one in Assyria, which is modern day Iraq or Persia, later pastime Persia. This is a drawing in clay, as you can see, northwest, south, and east. These would be the symbols in Assyria, which would be Persia. So these are all symbols from around the world. Let's keep going. All right, this is the Alps. The Alps or the Appalachians, you'll more likely be the mountainous regions. So this is another sun wheel painting. So remember, you see, now look at this. All right, now this gonna look very familiar. I need to zoom out a little bit so you can see everything I'm saying. You got this right here. Let me so you can see what my hand looks like. This right here, that's a 90. You got this right here, that's a 90. You got this right here, that's a 90. Right here, that's a 90. And you got this right here. And you got this right here. That's also a 90. So 90 times 4 is 360 degrees. Isn't that the same symbol as the Nazi symbol? All they're doing when they push their arm out, if you study enough, I had to study. When I found this out, I was looking up Nordic mythology. Is based out in Europe, Germany, Switzerland area, and for the symbol for the sun is actually 490-degree angles, which is what, 360 degrees of sun. So when you see they arm straight out, what they're doing is saluting the sun. And they got the information from they got all the information from the Tibetans, and those Tibetans, that's where he got the information from. And the information dealing with the sun is the sun behind the sun, the dark sun, and that's where a lot of the occult or the Thule Society got most of the information from. So, but you can find Thule too, Thule, inside in Nordic mythology too also. So let's keep going. So, symbol of the forces of nature, ancient Chinese. There's only one people in the world that's ancient. Everybody else is it come later in the world. So, and these people are actually here to actually cause a strain on us to make us become the best versions of ourselves. Returning back, rewinding time, but speeding up time at the same time. The traditional sun with rays. Okay, the traditional sun with rays. All right, you have the sun with flaming beams. Okay, so remember I said this Cesar Chavez, or this area, is a Latin-based area. A lot of the places I go to, or a lot of the places in the area where a lot of different where highly melanated people or so-called black people, you don't see stuff like this in this surrounding area. You don't see stuff like this. You have to go into a whole other area to get this. But these people didn't create this stuff. You have to remember that. You won't see this in so-called black areas of highly melanated people, because then they start to reawaken and start to remember stuff again. You got a pottery design from the Hopi Indians. You'll find in the bottom of Utah. If I'm not mistaken, they have a place out there. It's like a gateway. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Look up the Hopi Indians and continue your studies. All right, you got a coin design in India too. Also, just so happened some of this symbology you'll find in Europe too. I found some of this in Europe too. So they have, like, you call the runes. They have symbols like this too also. So where do you find this? In India. India isn't that far from Europe, right? Okay. You have the footed sun. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 going around, 8 90-degree angles. That's 720. 360 times 2 is 720. So Trojan is what? In that same European area. So these are all, and you'll find Hugin and Munin in Nordic mythology too. And those are crows or ravens. The black bird, Ashe. You have a sun painting with the exit pipe on leather. It's Native American. Native means what? People that was already there, or aboriginal to the area. You have corn too, also is native to this area. You see the hole right there. You'll see right here, this is for measuring of certain areas or certain lands. You see in what do you call them? The Masons, they'll use this also like a protractor in order to measure certain areas of land or where they need to be at, and to measure the traveling too. Also, you have this shell from the inside of, and you also have what? Fish. So this area that I'm in right now, this is right off of the water. This is like the same thing as the Gulf of Mexico. If you look at New Orleans have the Gulf of Mexico. The Mississippi River goes up all the way up into Canada from New Orleans, like in that area where New Orleans comes up at, where the marsh area is at. You'll find that same type of area right here. Right here, you'll find that same. I don't know if you can see the lettering right there, the letters right there. This is going. The water is going actually the same exact way. So this way traveled. Now I'm looking at it. I looked at the map and I'm looking at everything. These openings or these ways of entry, or it's like the same thing as the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River was a way for the Olmecs, or highly melanated people, so-called black people, to come from Mexico up and go from a land that they knew they was going to be traveling to. So let me keep going. These are all different types of plants too also. plantas resmosa, liqui dambar stara siflua, the Eucalyptus nicolai, Albizia julibrizin, Tebuya shivrama, Quercus agrifolia. And these names are in ancient Spanish, for the Spanish that was taught to the people in Europe. That's why the people in Europe was told the people in Mexico that were left behind and taught them Spanish. In order, because we had to teach the people in Europe Spanish or all the languages in order for them to be able to speak, in order for us to get it today. All right, you got Pyrus Catoriana. Pyrus Catoriana. It's hard to see because a lot of people walk over them, but I can try to say them as best as I can. Platanus resmosa. Okay, you got more symbology right here, but it turns around. Let me see what this is. You have it looks like a peacock, if I'm not mistaken, like it's a peacock. This is actually, it looks like a crane, but it looks like something I've seen in the Necronomicon. They have sigils in there, and some of these, this right here, this looks very familiar to one of the deities. They have a sigil that looks like this. So if you ever go into the AVON Necronomicon book, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is like a toucan to me, from what I'm looking at. It looks like a toucan. And of course, you have an eagle, American bald eagle. But in different cultures, the eagle here will be synonymous or the same as a hawk or a falcon. And this would be the same as the American eagle right here, just in another form. This would also be like, look at that as a bird too also. Look like it'd be a double-headed bird. Like the same thing you would see in certain cultures. You see two different heads. That means the mind and also the head, or look at it as a double, the soul double. You see the physical, but the soul's on the inside. You have another bird here too also. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and tell you from what I've gathered by me walking around around this park actually. So I'm at a waterfall. There's no point even, like, I just rather let you hear it than see it. Hearing things are sometimes better than seeing, because the illusion is somebody can try to trick you with your mind or your eyes, but you got to use your mind, your first eye, in order to discern these motherfuckers telling the truth or not. All right. So from what I gathered when I was walking around, none of these people that supposedly that would be looked at as based as living in this area, the most people living in this area are Latinos or whatever in this area, mostly in the city, pretty much. The thing is, those symbols aren't placed everywhere where everybody can see them, because most people would be able to wake up or see something like, what does this mean, or ask questions. They're gonna put it somewhere where they know most people are not gonna go into a part of the town or out of the area they're from. If they're not going to the area, if they're not gonna be in the area where those symbols are, that means they gotten their goal accomplished by not being able. The people that place those symbols, they've gotten their goal accomplished by not having those other people that those people are ancient to those areas. Like you saw Samaria, Rome, all these different places. They're always highly melanated people, or so-called black people that live in these areas around the world. Okay. That live in these areas around the world, and if they live in these areas around the world, and we've been known not just to travel, but to actually, when everything broke up with Pangea, these areas, these symbols were always in these areas. So now when we just like the Iron Giant by DreamWorks, he had a bump on his head. He had forgot a lot of the stuff he can do, like all of the power or a lot of stuff it could do. The robot, the Iron Giant, he forgot a lot of the things he can do. If he got a lot of the things that he do, that means a lot of our powers, or a lot of the things that we were made to do from being in these, from before we became in these physical bodies, that means everything slowed down at a rate to where we couldn't remember everything. So we got forced into this physical body. So when we got forced into this physical body, that means you got to go back and try to learn these things, or you must learn these things in order for you to get your full power back. So of course they're not going to put those symbols in an area where a lot of highly melanated or so-called black people live at. The reason why is because those symbols awaken certain things in people, and when they awaken certain things in people, then the outcome becomes different, or it becomes tragic for the people that don't want you to remember these symbols. So that's why I tell people, highly melanated people, so-called black people, to travel. You know what I'm saying? We mainly just to stay in that 1, 2, or 3 radius block of every of little city or town or whatever state. We just stay in that area and don't even go outside of that. That's a way to keep you contained. That's how you stay inside of a box without seeing things that's around you that's meant for you to see, so you can have a better idea of what's going on, so you can grow. If you can't grow, that means you can't turn back into what you once were before you became this physical body. And in this physical body, God, I'm gonna tell you, like I always tell you, God don't love highly melanated people, and God don't love so-called black people, because we are God's parents. And if God's parents wake up, that means God is out of here. They don't care. Like, trust me, God don't care about the people. Like, he don't care about us. Like, they know we're the most spiritual people in the world. That's why they give us like these religions, when we are spiritual people. Spirituality birth religion for everybody else. Look, it's a hummingbird, man. It just came up out of nowhere when I said that. Let me keep going. We're spiritual people. We're spiritual people, and they have us giving our legion or our allegiance to religion. That means our power is going right to something that don't even like us. So if it don't even like us, that means our power is leaving us at a rapid rate. If it's leaving us at a rapid rate, that means what? All we can do is worship. I haven't worshiped anything in years. I had to learn that from coming out of the church. They have you grow up in that shit in order for you to stay that way. In order for you can't make that change. Or like Mike say, looking at the man in the mirror, the reflection in yourself. If you're reflecting on yourself, that means you got to reflect to the past. Reflect to the past and go past what they gave you, and not just what's in front of you. Go past that. That's what I've been doing. Reaching. Reach. You You know, like as a basketball player, I come to realize all these rules, just like with God, all these rules are fucked up. Like with basketball, if you reaching, they call it what? A reaching foul. Keep reaching for more information. Goaltending, if you're trying to block the shot when the ball is like damn near by the rim, and that they call that goaltending. But you're trying to stop it from scoring, just like you trying to stop God from scoring on you or getting over on you or stopping you from getting where you need to be at. You got to play defense and offense. So it's like all these rules is almost like a point in order for you to keep you subdued, not to do whatever the fuck you want to do down here. And this is only an illusion. But why? And this is another question I want to pose. Now, the Myans, they say, oh, they built the pyramids and they built the calendar. All right, I've already come to do some research and find out that was a lie, because how come they can't do any of that stuff now at this time, their day and time? If those people are physically still there, why can't they still do those same things that they so-called supposedly did back in the day? Because they never did it. Maya in Tibet means the illusion. The illusion is something that is not real. It's a falsity, a farce, something false. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, they know who we are, but we don't know who we are. That's the point. It ain't on them to tell us. It's on us to go get it. If it's up to you to go get it, so why let something stop you or get in your way from getting to the things you need to be at? All right. So I'm telling you this now, and I'm telling you this because it's going to be coming the time. The time is already here already. Ancestors know what you really want to do with your time and what you're really trying to do. So if you're really out here really putting in work and really really going to make things change, they're going to be that support for you. Like I said, those legions, giving your legion to religion, those legions, one legion is 10,000. Imagine if you deal with a lot of deities that have a lot of legions about them. That makes you that much more stronger, and the ancestors inside and around you will help you, and they want to help you. All right. So, looking at different type of mythologies only make yourself stronger. If you're looking at one, you cutting your power. So 2222 is MAAT, the year 2022. I say killing God daily, killing God. God don't love you. God don't love us. If he don't love us, why give energy or love to something that don't love you? God is our ops forever. From the day we came down here to the day we are to right now. And just to show you I'm not bullshitting, the ancestors showed me. What's up? You got ravens and crows all over the place. They just came out of nowhere. Just as when I said that, they just started pulling up just now. So they just disbanded right in this area. They're all over the place just now. They just got in this area. So people like to think that animals are slow or just out of there. No, they know exactly what they're doing. They have a spiritual purpose. Animals, birds fly high. So they're at a higher spiritual frequency. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it at 2323 instead of 2222. But the year 2022 will be in. That's the year of the Great Mother Ashe.